Hello and welcome to The Last Living Prepper. In today's video, we will be discussing what to include in your home blackout box, plus how to create a makeshift lantern with a few household items. When it comes to blackouts, it's always good to be prepared. Whether it lasts for a few minutes or a few hours, having a few blackout boxes in the house means you can stay warm and safe when the lights go off. With the energy crisis growing more concerning every day, and the war in Ukraine continuing on, you should be prepared for this emergency. Here's a list of non-electrical items you need to have in your cupboard, just in case. The first thing you need is light so you can see where you're going. Obviously, it's important to have matches and a collection of candles. Even tea lights are useful when there's no light. Also include in your kit a full size of lighters plus mini Bic-style lighter, portable power banks, a bunch of spare batteries, crank NOAA weather radio, a bathtub storage emergency drinking water container, and an emergency indoor stove and a carbon monoxide detector. For longer-term solutions, you'll need more than just the naked flame. Here are some non-electric lighting suggestions. If your power is out and you have no way to charge your phone, you might need to rely on a flashlight to get around at night. Remember to choose a flashlight with adjustable beams, flexible battery options, and a lock mode to prevent accidental activation. When thinking about the best flashlight for your emergency kit, you may want to consider the several important features to look for: value, lumens and throw, runtime, battery type, versatility. When you get the right blend of these, you can find a great flashlight without breaking the bank. Another option is Dynamo Flashlights, which usually charge with a hand crank. These are all right for short-term use or slightly hyper kids, but could be awkward if you're trying to actually work on something. They are good for storing in the car or in a rarely looked-at emergency kit, since they don't have a battery to run out. Ones with a pump-style dynamo, as opposed to a turning hand crank dynamo, are easier to use and harder to break. The biggest drawback of the Dynamo flashlights is that they do not hold the dynamo charge for long and require nearly constant effort to maintain power. But again, kids might like them, especially if you can get one that shows the inner workings of the flashlight's dynamo. If you need both hands for something but you also need a flashlight, headlamps are the perfect solution. You could also just leave it on your head and turn it on when you go to the bathroom or any unlighted room. There are many highly rated options. Another way to use headlamps is to attach them to a milk jug. This causes the light to disperse, creating a makeshift lamp. Next up is kerosene or oil lamps. These are awesome light sources, especially the old-school hurricane lanterns. As with candles, however, they are an open flame, so you need to be careful with them. Oil lamps also give off more heat and carbon dioxide than candles and should only be used in a well-ventilated room. Store lamp oil in a non-corrosive container, as it sometimes eats through the plastic bottles. If you decide to use oil lamps, keep extra wicks as well as extra oil on hand. Now we have propane lamps. Camping propane lamps can also give plenty of light in a power outage. The danger of such lamps is their high heat output and high oxygen use. A propane lamp should be used outside or in a well-ventilated area. If you decide to use a propane lamp, make sure you have a few extra propane bottles to keep your light going. Battery-powered lights. Flashlights aren't the only type of light powered by batteries. You can also get battery-powered lanterns, folding lights, and even candles. You're going to use a lot of batteries if you go this route, so you might want to invest in some rechargeable batteries and a solar battery charger. Rechargeable batteries don't last as long, so you'll be changing them a lot, but at least you won't have to deal with kerosene or lamp oil. It depends on your preference. Now we are going to discuss rechargeable lights. With these, no batteries are necessary. You just plug them into the wall to charge them up. They're great for short-term power outages, but obviously, they won't be a great option if the power is out for more than a day. It's a good idea to have a nice rechargeable work light anyway. Then when the power goes out, you'll have another option. Different option is a rechargeable spotlight. These are useful if you have chores to do or a perimeter to check. Rechargeable spotlights usually have two options, either a rechargeable battery pack or a recharging dock for the whole flashlight. With frequent use, a rechargeable spotlight will usually last 2 years with bright light, but it may last longer with infrequent use. If you like DIY projects, you can create a makeshift lantern with a few household items. Grab a mason jar, unwind a metal hanger, or pull out some stiff metal wire. Wrap the wire into a 2 to 4 inch, which is 5.1 to 10.2 centimeters, tall coil that will fit inside of the jar. Clip off a length of twine and wrap it around the metal. Fill the bottom 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of the jar with olive oil and set the coil inside. Light the tip of the twine, and you should have a consistent source of light for a few hours. Make sure there's roughly 1/4 inch, which is 0.64 centimeters, of twine sticking out past the top of the metal before you light it. You need a little bit of extra fabric at the beginning to keep the flame from getting out of hand. This is not the safest option available, and you should only do this if you have no other options. Do not leave your makeshift lamp out of your eyesight while you're using it, and extinguish the flame when you're done. This should work with basically any cooking oil. If you have any sardines lying around, there's probably olive oil in there. Well folks, there you have it. You're now well on your way to becoming a blackout survival expert. Being prepared isn't about living in fear. It's about taking control and ensuring your safety and well-being when the lights go out. Stay tuned for more essential survival tips and tricks coming soon. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, we're all in this together.